West Indies with another poor batting display, Raymond.
Yeah, but at least they never make 15 and them score over 100.
Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
Greetings, Sports DTM fans, and welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle, your channel of undiluted sports content. Raymond and I are here to review the recently concluded T20 international between the West Indies and Pakistan. Raymond, talk to me. This result, expected result, but we expected a better showing by the team.
Yeah, so the result is what we had expected, right? We had expected Pakistan to win. And we were hoping that they would have limited Pakistan below 200. That wasn't to be. And we were hoping at least West Indies score above 150, thereabout. And that wasn't to be. So those are two disappointments a bit. But we were spot on with the result, most definitely.
I mean, West Indies started off this match on the back foot, I think, losing three of their players tested positive for COVID. Sheldon Cottrell, Kyle Myers, and Ralston Chase. So they went into this match with a depleted team. But having won the toss, they decided to bowl first. And Pakistan did extremely well, batted for 20 overs, made 200 for 6. And you can see the scores there. And what was interesting enough is that West Indies went with 4 or mostly pace bowlers. And in the previous review, we spoke about the importance of having more spinners in the lineup. And we saw that they selected Akil Hussain as the leading spin bowler. He opened the bowling as well. He took 1 wicket for 19 runs off 4 overs. But all of the pace bowlers were off today. As you can see, Romario Shepherd, 2 for 43 from 4. O'Shane Thomas, who we expect to have some experience, he bowled mostly with his physical strength rather than his brain. 4 overs, 1 for 38. It was a poor showing by the bowlers. 200 for 6, pretty close to the highest score Pakistan has ever made in T20 of 206 against the West Indies.
Yeah, so it is clear. I mean, that 200 give you an indication of how the bowlers were unable to limit Pakistan. We had spoken about ensuring that we had more spinners. So initially we thought that you would have all these spinners to pretty much limit them, but that wasn't the case. What you have now is a lot of pace and medium pace type persons, and we know that don't work well on this type of pitch. As you can tell, Pakistan pick a lot of spinners, and you see the damage 137. So that kind of befuddled me. How come we didn't have the amount of spinners that were initially supposed to be selected? So that kind of befuddled me, definitely.
And then when the West Indies started this chase, it was over from about the 10th over. They made 137 from 19 overs. Who we spoke about in the previous video as well, that we were wondering why he was in the team. He actually top scored with 31 off 26. And the tail enders, Smith, Powell, Shepherd, all in double figures. Captain started off well, 18 from 10 balls. And as we spoke about the bowling, Pakistan used more spin bowlers. Shadad Khan, 3 for 17 from 4 overs, was really one of the game changers for this game.
Yeah, so it's clear. It's clear that you really had to use spinners on this type pitch. So initially, Pakistan loaded up on spinners and actually used them. We loaded up on spinners. I thought was when we were going to use them, and at the last minute we switch and go pace. I don't know if it's a matter of misdirection or something, but that's how we did, and it didn't bear any form of fruit at all. We were unable to limit them. Luckily, they didn't eclipse the highest runs scored against us. That never happened. So I guess that could be considered some demand. But 200 is no easy score to hit off. And I can just imagine you won the toss and you'd be like, oh yeah, I can chase. Except that when you're chasing, you need a limiting factor. And the limiting factor normally would come from spin bowlers on a certain type of pitch like this one.
And talking about chasing, and of course, Pakistan won this match by 63 runs. But the previous T20 captain, who is injured and in rehabilitation in Trinidad, spoke about running between the wickets. And we can't move away from that. That is an important part of any run chase. But what we saw in the latter part of the West Indies chase was that them just a swing. Them just a swing without any aim at all. I suppose they expect to just close it out in sixes. Does that really work in T20 nowadays?
So it makes sense. You actually start off to put a lot of runs on the board, and some persons would say you try and bat as fast as possible early out and probably try to go for the sixes and fours. But if you ask me, you try put a respectable run rate together, and if that include running between the wickets, you just do that. And the latter end of the game, I guess you don't have nothing to lose, and so you pretty much swing out to make a reasonable total against that big of opponent, Pakistan. And so I can see why they will swing out. But they fall way short at some, 150, 160, fall way short of that, not even batting out the overs. And that sometimes can be demoralizing for actually not finish batting out the overs.
So as you can see, the 140 or 150 that you had in mind for the West Indies to put up a good showing against Pakistan now work. So what is the dual strategy if we're to go into strategy right now?
It would have worked if you actually use the spinners to limit. Because if they didn't make as much as 200, then clearly you could actually try to make a serious chase at it. But if you don't use the spinners, then you're not going to limit. And so you're not really change up the line of attack. And the line of attack is pretty much not diversified enough. And this is not working on this type of pitch at all. So the strategy should really be to try as best as possible to get some spinners involved, way more than this, as opposed to the pace and medium pace. And that's just not helping us. That only is just feeding into Pakistan batsmen, and pretty much you can see the result because of that.
And fans out there you have it, another episode of Sports Down the Middle. West Indies in Pakistan concluded their first T20 match of the series, and they went down by 63 runs, winning the toss and elected to bowl first. Pakistan ran away with it at 200 for 6 from 20 overs. West Indies failed in their run chase, and they never really put any partnership together, and so ended after 19 overs, 137 all out. Fans out there, we would love to hear from you by you leaving your comments in the comment section below. What's your thoughts on the West Indies performance in this first T20 International? Leave all those comments in the comment section below, and always remember to like, to share, and to subscribe, and to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell all of them friends to come and join the Sports DTM family. This has been another episode of Sports Down the Middle. Be blessed.